Coming up this Sunday night, WWE Over the Limit pay-per-view. Among the matches, Bryan challenges CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Bryan joins us for a few minutes here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. Ever think a word as simple as yes could change your life the way it has?
Yeah, you would never think it, right? Like all the years I spent toiling on the independent scene, really learning my craft to be as good of a wrestler as I could possibly be, and the thing that makes me the most popular is probably the first word I ever learned as a kid.
Who cares that you could be one of the best wrestlers in the world, beloved by many people for what you can do athletically in the ring, as long as you can say the word yes in an entertaining way. I mean, that's going to make you a superstar.
Yeah, and point my fingers in the air. Yeah, like I can go out there and literally be the worst wrestler ever, and I feel like people would still enjoy chanting yes. So.
Tell me how exactly that first came about, because you and we talked a couple days before WrestleMania. I know that you got the idea watching Diego Sanchez, who's a fighter for UFC. You got that idea, but what was it like when you got that idea and you presented that to Vince McMahon? What were the initial impressions that you got from him?
Oh, I didn't present it to anybody. I just started doing it.
Oh, okay.
and then I just kept doing it because I thought it was fun to do. I enjoyed doing it when I was going to the ring, and especially as I was transitioning into being a little bit more annoying and more of because when I first won the World Heavyweight Championship, I was a good, I was a likable character, right? And then just transitioning into being a little more annoying and a little more overjoyed about my success than I should be, and that sort of thing. And yeah, I never once said anything to anybody about it. I just started doing it.
What was the reaction that you got from Vince McMahon?
You know what? He never even mentioned it ever to me until probably I don't know. It was like maybe about a month before WrestleMania, and like it was just something, just something in casual and passing, saying like, and then you do your yes thing when you go to the ring and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that was my thing. I had just started doing it, and yeah, it was funny that it took him a while to catch his attention.
I was going to say, did he ever show you like his vision of the way to do it, like going down the ramp and chanting?
I would pay to see that. I would pay to see him like do the little hop that I do and point his fingers in the air and go yes, yes, yes. I would pay to see Vince McMahon do that.
When did you know that this really took off? To me, I thought it was at WrestleMania, because even though you had the opening match and it only lasted 18 seconds, being there, you could see the crowd for at least the next hour, maybe 2 hours. Even during other people's matches, they would go out of the way to be chanting yes.
Yeah, I think it was definitely WrestleMania when it took off, and it's because I feel like there's such a hardcore fan base there at WrestleMania who enjoy what I do, and also it was slightly, I think, a rebellion against my match only being 18 seconds at WrestleMania, and then it really took off because the WrestleMania was in that open-air stadium, right? And then the next night it was in, I want to say, the American Airlines Arena there in Miami. And to enclose all those people into an arena, and then all of them doing it, then it was really loud and very apparent. And it was done in like all the matches, and during The Rock's promo, during Cena's promo. And so it was really interesting. It was cool.
Talking about WrestleMania, you brought that up, and that match. What's that like for you, knowing I'm going to be on this huge stage, we want to steal the show, we want to have a great match, then you find out, hey, you know what, it's going to be this short. I mean, is that difficult for you, or is that something you say, hey, that's just part of my job?
Well, you have to look at it as part of your job, but you can also be disappointed. I've always wanted to go out there and steal the show, every show that I'm on. That's how I got to where I'm at. I didn't get here by being a nice guy or by going out there and being a character or anything like that. The WWE noticed me because I put on great matches, right? That was my thing. Now I've developed into somebody who has some personality on TV and that sort of thing, but that wasn't what brought me to the dance. You know what I mean? What I love and what I enjoy doing is going out there and wrestling and going out there and entertaining people with what I do in the ring. And so to not be able to do that to the best of my abilities was disappointing. But everything that's come from it has actually been very good, so I guess I can't complain.
Speaking of disappointing, and I don't know if you remember this, I'm being a little greedy here, but when we talked before WrestleMania, I gave you the idea for the Yes Cartwheel, and you have yet to do it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd forgotten about it. But if I win the WWE Championship on Sunday, I will do a Yes Cartwheel.
That would be very nice. I would like to see that.
And actually, that's if I remember, and two, if I'm physically capable of doing a cartwheel at that point.
You're facing CM Punk over the Limit pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. You've known Punk for a long, long time. Is it really special now to say, hey, this is where we've come from, and to be able to have a match against him on a pay-per-view?
It is, and especially because nobody expected either of us to get to this point. Like when we were both on the independent scene and stuff like that. There were knocks against Punk's look, against my look, about how we don't look like prototypical WWE superstars. And even when we both signed here, Punk, he has that character, he has that quality that you think, if they would just give him an opportunity, he could really connect with the WWE universe. But for me, even the people who really liked me kind of doubted whether I would be able to succeed here in the WWE. And it's cool that two guys who have really paid their dues and worked hard on the independents just to get opportunities like this are having this chance. Because, I mean, this isn't a small opportunity. This is a WWE Championship match at an Over the Limit pay-per-view. I mean, it's unreal. This is more than I could have ever dreamed of.
I'm curious about that, too, when it comes to before your time with WWE, and you had begun talking with them, and people had always wondered, would you ever go there? I know there's a lot of fans that were wondering about that, if you could go to WWE and the opportunities there, but did you have a lot of people around you as well saying, I don't know if that's a good career move for you?
And there was a lot of people who thought if I came to WWE that I would never get past the middle to lower card, and but I had to take that risk, and two, there, I had gotten as far as I could possibly get on the independents and the international scene. You know what I mean? Like I was pretty much the main event of almost every independent show I was on. Japan, the business over there wasn't very good, and so the odds of getting paid more and being used more over there weren't very good, and so for me to take the next step in my career, for me to be able to evolve, I had to chance it by trying to come to WWE.
Considering everything that you've overcome, is this the most fun you've ever had in the business?
It's hard to say because I feel like I've always had fun in wrestling. Like it's even when I was poor and struggling and stuff like that, I've always enjoyed wrestling. It was really, really cool on the European tour right after WrestleMania. We were in the main event. I was in the main event wrestling Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship every night, and in Dublin, Ireland, for that match. Where he was like a mega star, right? And which meant that those people hated me like I was the most villainous person on the planet. Like I had started World War II or something like that, and it was really, really cool and really fun. And there's something so dynamic about being loved or hated by a packed arena, that you can't match anywhere else. But there was also things to me about being really loved by a very small crowd, a very intimate crowd who, you can see each person's face, So I've had a lot of fun at a lot of different points in my career, and it's hard to say which point would be the funnest.
I know the timing for you was right when you decided to join WWE. Going back many years ago, one of the people that trained you was Shawn Michaels. Do you ever regret not coming to WWE sooner so maybe you could have a big match with Shawn on the huge stage for WWE?
I would have loved to have had a match with Shawn, and the fact that I never got a chance to, even if I had come here, I might not have been able to have had a chance to have a match with him. I know Brian Kendrick, who I also trained with, and who was trained by Shawn Michaels. He never got to have a match with Shawn. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where had I come earlier, I might not have been able to have the opportunities that I had now. For example, like had I come in 2005, right? There were so many other guys around that I might not have been able to get the opportunities that I've gotten now, and especially because now the size barrier has been broken so much that a guy like me can go into the main event scene, and people don't even think it's such a big issue.
Few last things. You're a huge MMA fan. What's it been like for you to see Brock Lesnar come back to the company?
I think it's great. I think he brings a lot of added interest to the company, and I'm hoping some of those UFC fans who come and watch some of our pay-per-views, and especially that last pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, was awesome. It was an awesome show, you know, and I hope they stick around and they watch Over the Limit, and because they're going to see another awesome show. I mean, this is going to be a great night of wrestling for everybody involved, and so I think it's great. And I would love to have a match with Brock Lesnar. I know that's probably not in the cards, but I'm petitioning for it right now because I feel like me and him could have a match unlike any pro wrestling match in North America probably ever.
I was going to ask you about that because you wouldn't shy away from the physicality, would you?
No, not at all. Not at all. And actually, I like that sort of thing. And so, and like my skills, especially as a grappler, lend itself to that kind of thing. You know, like when he's ground and pounding, like doing the ground and pound stuff that he was doing to Cena. Like, there's not a lot of guys who have any counters for that. Well, I have a million. You know what I mean? And so, it would be you know, and there like a lot of things that would be really fun about a match like that. I think people would be excited to see it too.
More excited about your WWE action figure or actually having a T-shirt?
Oh, the action figure is the coolest. Like, you know, because as a kid, you know, like I didn't have a lot of wrestling T-shirts. You know, they didn't come to the Pacific Northwest very much. You know, I'm from Washington State, but I could always get the toys. You know what I mean? Like they were always at KB Toys or Toys R Us or whatever. And so, yeah, it was really cool, really surreal when I saw my first action figure.
When it's all said and done, who will get more out of one word? You with yes or Ron Simmons with damn?
As of now, I feel like he's got more longevity out of damn, but I'm hoping to outlast him. I'm hoping that the yes thing lasts as long as damn has.
I will say this, the one thing I'm very happy about with the yes is not only the success you've had with it, it's gotten rid, for the most part, of the what chance.
Well, there's still a lot of what chants, and the thing is I would love it if people started chanting yes when people paused during the middle of their interviews, but they're still chanting what sometimes. So
we're going to be blaming Daniel Bryan for hijacking interviews coming soon.
Right, right. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what, you know, like when I'm retired and all that kind of stuff. I would hope that people would still be going like yes, and just annoying people like in the middle of their promos. That would be fantastic. It would make me giggle every time I saw it.
It's the Over the Limit pay-per-view live this Sunday night. Daniel Bryan challenging CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Part of that show, John Cena will also take on Raw and SmackDown GM John Laurinaitis on that show. And remember, Daniel Bryan wins. A yes cartwheel could be seen if he has enough energy. So,
and if I remember.
And if you remember. So, thanks again for the time, man. Appreciate it, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you very much.